Hi, I'm Bill.
And I'm DeAnna. And this is Scout.
And in our Airstream, we're living the silver life.
Come join us in our adventures.
So we have a few minutes. We thought you'd give you some tips on going to the Arctic Circle. We went there when we were up in Fairbanks, and the Arctic Circle is at latitude 66.5. It's the imaginary circle where one day out of the year, which is June 21st, or the summer solstice, the sun does not set. And on the winter solstice, about December 21st, the sun never rises. So you have 24 hours of dark, 24 hours a day. It's about 198 miles from Fairbanks. You travel on the Elliott Highway to the Dalton Highway and then go on up.
Right.
Would you give some tips on what you should take if you're going to travel that way to the Arctic Circle or on to Dead Horse?
Okay, well, one of the tips is make sure it is a long day. It's a lot of travel over some very various different types of roads and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
And you definitely want to make sure you have plenty of food and water. There's not a lot of stops along the way. There's not a lot of like towns and stuff where you can stop at a restaurant or stop to do this or that. So there's not much you can count on. So make sure you take a lunch, snacks, and plenty of water to drink.
Yeah, and most of we're talking about just going to the Arctic Circle because there are a few gas stations, but you definitely want to start with a full tank. And depending on what kind of mileage you get, if you see gas stations, it doesn't hurt to add some more.
Yeah, and they say don't count on gas stations.
Right.
3, take your milepost or some type of map with points marked on it, because you're not going to have any cell service. Nope. You're not going to be able to check to see where you are. You're not going to be able to check to see what interesting thing is coming up. You need that milepost. You need something that you've already marked ahead of time.
Yeah, when we went, we didn't have any tire problems, but you want to make sure you have good tires. Your spare is pumped up and it's mounted spare. If you have a car that has that little cheap spare, you might want to think about a real size spare. Air compressor, if you have to pump up a tire, maybe a tire repair kit like a plug kit could help you.
Another thing that you want to probably make sure you do, unless you really need it, I would not take your trailer. I would drop the trailer in Fairbanks because it's a dirty, bumpy road, and your truck or vehicle is going to be filthy, and you don't want to add your trailer to that too.
Yeah, good point. We just went to the Arctic Circle, so we knew it was going to be a long day. If you were going on the Dead Horse and had to, because you can't do that up and back in a day, you would have to take your trailer, but you're going to have to go slow, because if it wasn't gravel, it was pavement, but the pavement had a lot of potholes, and it was a big, long stretch of construction, and it was raining that day, and it was 2 or 3 inches of mud. So it's definitely a rough trip in a camper. It's very doable, but you're going to have to be so careful.
Yes.
It took us, 11 hours of driving, and we didn't stop too often, several times, and of course stopped at the Arctic Circle sign and got a picture and things like that. But it took another hour at the car wash when we got back, and $25 just to get the mud off of everything.
So definitely count on at least 12 hours, 11 of traveling and 1 at the car wash.
Yeah, but if that's on your bucket list, it's worth doing, but it's definitely going to be a little bit of an adventure, so
to say the least.
Here comes the trucks they're talking about. Called the Elliott Highway, that we'll take up and hit the Dalton Highway to go to the Arctic Circle. And this is the road improvement. Look like pavement down there? No, can't be pavement. No.
They say 90% of the forest fires up here are actually started by lightning.
They're burning.
Right.
Oh, there's
there
guys.
is people in there. There are guys in there
Oh,
doing it.
Yeah, they're back burning and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was completed in 1977.
Yep, 1977. Started in 75, completed in 77. Where the pipeline is above ground is where the permafrost makes it impossible to bury it.
There's the Yukon River. Whoa, it's a wood block bridge. Look at that. Wow, that river is huge, Dan. Look at those rafts with tents on them. I said it'd take 5 hours, 20 minutes, right? We're gonna be right about there, I think. We left at 8:15. When it gets past a certain point, the Alaska, there's no mountains, it becomes tundra. You have to worry about them read your license plate.
Oh my goodness, it's filthy.
Oh. Now we're heading back down to the main road, which isn't too much better than this road. No, it's a lot better. 2 people can go through the holes.
Filthy. Oh my word.
It does look somewhat better.
This water's actually really nice and clear, right? Oh, it's just, I wonder if it's coming out of the reservoir that they have up there.
Could be. Well, this would be fun to kayak, wouldn't it?
This is perfect for you guys' boats. Just enough current to keep things interesting.
Moving.
Yeah. Maybe we should do that.
Yeah, let me know if you need some. Pack it. It's right in the back pocket. This is one of the best maintained trails I've been on in my life.
They're right here. This would be a kind of a fun river to kayak, wouldn't it?
I'm ready. What I could do, you're such a good boy.
Get some water and I'm at about pack weight.
And now,
Hey, Rocky! Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
but that trick never worked.
This time for sure. Resto! Well, I'm getting close.